Right, moving on. Question number 3 from Mahmood. Mahmood asks, what are the likely impacts of global warming on property prices in the future? I've been reading a lot of conflicting information on the internet about what might or might not happen, but I'm completely unsure about investing in any sort of riverside property because there won't be anything of value to pass on to my children. Surely all the oceanfront properties and anything by a river or watercourse will be underwater soon. All right, well, thank you for the question, Mahmood. Totally understand your stance on all of that. And it is a bit of a minefield sort of going through all of this conflicting information to understand what is the root cause of the problem. Because, you know, if I don't know how old you are, Mahmood, but from my point of view, when I was growing up, you know, it was all about, you know, talking about the differences in global warming. We were going to enter a new ice age, and then that didn't happen. And then it was going to be, you know, some next environmental crisis. And now we're on to climate change, which is the rebranded version of global warming. And I've got to be honest with you, I am very skeptical about this. I've seen probably a similar amount of conflicting information as you have out there on the internet, but I've heard some I've seen some very interesting videos of people within the European Parliament calling out the climate change agenda as a big gravy train, if you like. And I'm sure there's going to be one or two keyboard warriors who are flexing up right now and ready to you know, feed me back with some comments about how naive I am about all of this. Look, I believe that there is probably a pollution problem, okay, that needs to be addressed. So, you know, things like oil spills, things like, you know, all of these plastic bottles that are in the sea, or, you know, all of these masks, these countless masks that have been produced over the course of the last couple of years. We've banned plastic straws, but now there's, you know, millions of masks that are into landfill right now. You've got a pollution problem, most definitely, and that needs to be addressed, and that's crucial to undertake. But as far as impact on climate is concerned, I believe, this is my personal view, is that there are far greater elements that are way outside of our control that are impacting the climate rather than carbon dioxide. And listening to some interesting scientists, they're suggesting that there is no suggestion whatsoever that carbon dioxide would be a gas that actually causes a heating effect within the atmosphere. Okay, now, as I say, these are the scientists. This includes astrophysicists and other specialists who are out there who recognize that actually influences like the sun, for example, is far more potent on the you know, on the world than actually CO2. And those are the sorts of things that we need to sort of differentiate between you know, fact and fiction, if you like. Now, to put this into context, I did see a video by a gentleman called Dan Pena. Anybody who's watched some of these webinars before will know that I'm a bit of a fan of Dan because he's very straight talking and, you know, he tells it as it is. And he made a really interesting observation, which is, if you look at a lot of these oceanfront properties or anything that's built next to a river or a watercourse, not one prospectus in the entire world, as far as I'm aware, actually features any kind of caveat or inclusion to suggest that in 50 years, this property may be underwater. And I would suggest that, you know, the powers that be, as far as the banking industry is concerned and the insurance industry is concerned, would certainly be ahead of the game if there was any kind of risk of rising sea levels or any kind of rising water levels. They would know, or they would certainly have the experts working on it. And I would suggest respectfully that if there was something out there that would cause us some concern, they would be the first people right now to be pulling insurance on waterfront properties. And as far as I'm aware, that's not happening. As far as I'm aware, they're not hiking premiums. Now, that's not to say that might not happen in the future, but if it was such an alarming state of affairs as we're being told it's a crisis and it's an emergency, then I would suggest that they'd probably be doing that right now, and they're not, okay? And as far as I'm aware, banks across the planet are not pulling finance products for any properties that are close to water. And if you look at some of the biggest cities in the world, including London or Chicago or places like that, they're built very close to the river, and there's multi-billions, if not trillions of pounds worth of property right next to the water, and there doesn't seem to be any concern that they may be underwater and there'll be nothing left in the future. So that would be my take on it. That there, you know, I'd look to people who know a little bit more than I do rather than the alarmist press. as I say, if banks and insurance companies aren't now dictating, and I suppose the other thing to look at, of course, is that there are significant rumours of people who have been in positions of power who have bought oceanfront properties with their billions and multi-millions of pounds, and they're sitting quite happily enjoying their view with no threat of it being submerged anytime soon. So I think those are the sorts of things we need to look at, and I just don't see it happening personally. I think the reduction in CO2 levels could actually do more harm than good, because as a friend of mine said to me recently, anybody who owns a greenhouse and they want their plants to grow will normally pump carbon dioxide into the greenhouse to help the plants grow. And that seems quite smart to me. Okay, so surely more carbon dioxide in the air would actually create a lusher, greener environment. That's just one thing to look at. I don't know, but yeah, I think as far as property prices are concerned, I don't think there's going to be any impact on property prices in the future. I'm sure there's going to be a million people out there with a different view, so feel free to express that as you see fit. But as far as I'm concerned, as I say, I just don't see it. Certainly not in our lifetimes, and probably not in our children's lifetime. Okay, so that's a good few years away yet. All right, thank you for the question, Mahmood. Have a wonderful Christmas as well. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this is why I have been so excited and so on edge and so tripping over my tongue during the course of today's webinar. So I hope you'll forgive me, but I hope what I'm about to tell you will more than make up for my folks' pazzes throughout the course of this webinar. And yes, I do get the irony of what I've just said. All right, so it's Christmas, or it's coming up towards Christmas. And what I've decided to do as a pledge to show our sincerity to the people who are involved in the UK property market, and also with the cost of living crisis and the, shall we say, a shrinking pool of business that may be available for agents, conveyancers, removal companies, surveyors, all the rest of it over the course of the next 12, 18 months. I'm going to put my neck on the line, and I'm going to do a £50,000 giveaway in the form of our 12-week roadmap, which we're going to be offering 10 spaces for any business owner in the UK who has either got an estate agency, a letting agency, whether they're a conveyancer, whether they are a removals company, whether they're a surveyor, a sparky, plumber, or anybody else that's connected with the home moving process in the UK. If you would like to win one of those 10 spaces that we're making available, this is a £5,000 training course, by the way, that we will be delivering to you for free. Okay, it will be in a one-on-one capacity, and I'll be taking you by the hand over the course of the next 3 months. So starting in January, we'll be running for 3 months. We'll be building an incredibly solid foundation in your business, and we'll be creating an incredible customer nurturing journey for your clients to help you win more business and to win that business at much, much higher fees. So if there's, as I say, problems that you've got in your existing business, you're worried about the future, you're not quite sure which way to go, I'm more than happy to dedicate the next 3 months to mentoring you and holding your hand through that entire process. And I'll do what I can to help you out. As I say, I'm offering you 10 spaces for business owners up and down the country. That is valued at £5,000 each. And as I say, it's part of our 12-week roadmap. So I only want you to reserve a space or send in shall we say, an email to us to try and reserve a space or win a space, shall we say, if you're prepared to commit to that 12-week process. I have done these sorts of things before with people where I've offered them help and advice, and they've all been very enthusiastic at week 1. But by week 4, they've gone off to do other things. So I only want people who are going to be committed, to the process, to the cause, because it's not fair if you're taking one of those available spaces, and then you're not committed to the process when that space could have been made available to somebody else. So it is an incredible giveaway. As I say, I'm prepared to put our money where our mouth is as far as WiggyWam is concerned, to support you guys and girls out there in what is going to become an increasingly tough market. You will get personally mentored by me over the course of the next 12 weeks. I'm really looking forward to it. It's going to be a huge involvement of my time, but I am more than prepared to do it because I see the value in what we offer and what we provide to the marketplace, and I know we can help you with your business. So if this is something that sounds of interest, in order to get involved, all you need to do is send us an email to happytohelp@wiggywam.co.uk. That's happytohelp@wiggywam.co.uk. Use the subject line and put Christmas giveaway. Okay, that's Christmas giveaway in the subject line, and then just send me an email with the contact details. Everybody will go into a hat, okay, for the opportunity to win a space on this incredibly invaluable training, okay, and then we'll do that draw live on Christmas Day, and I'll let everybody know in due course who's been specially selected for it. So we're doing our bit. I hope that helps you guys. We're doing what we can, and I do believe that we will be able to show you how to add at least 20% additional revenue to your business over the course of the next 90 days. So if that sounds of interest, if that's how you want to start the new year with a bang, we are going to show you how to make hopefully a lot more money than that over the course of the next 12, 18 months, but let's start somewhere, eh? All right, so as I say, send me an email, happytohelp@wiggywam.co.uk, and include the subject line there as Christmas giveaway. I'll throw your names into a hat, and then we'll find out who are going to be our 10 lucky winners in our £50,000 Christmas giveaway. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much indeed for your time. Hope that's got you all excited, and you're putting a bright smile on, ready for the run up to Christmas. Wishing you all the very, very best. Thank you for tuning in once again. Thank you for being part of our amazing journey at WiggyWam. And yeah, whatever we can do to help, if there's any questions, concerns, whatever you, feedback, please send it through to us. Our email address, happytohelp@wiggywam.co.uk. That's happytohelp@wiggywam.co.uk. You can also go to our website, which is wiggywam.co.uk. And you can access all sorts of resources on there, which are far too numerous to mention at this moment in time. But you can also get in touch with us on Twitter, which our Twitter handle is @WiggyWam_UK. That's @WiggyWam_UK. And that's any questions, comments, feedback, suggestions, anything else that you want us to feed through to us, please do so. And as I say, if you want to take part in our Christmas giveaway, send us an email, happytohelp@wiggywam.co.uk, and in the subject line, just put Christmas giveaway and include your name and contact details on there. All right. Fantastic. Well, thank you for tuning in for week 15, ladies and gentlemen. Have a wonderful rest of your week. Wishing you all the very best of luck for Christmas, and look forward to catching up with you very soon. You take care. Bye-bye.